Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and YouTube has been starting my streams in weird places, so you know what? Apologies if it happened today, but you know what's not happening today? This desert is no longer gonna be tolerated because I'm taking all of this obsidian, plus all of this obsidian, and I'm gonna be placing it in biome form. It's gonna be nice, it's gonna be fun, and you know what else is gonna be nice and fun? You, internet. So Lexi HG said something in the pre-stream chat. You know what? He single-handedly inspired me to start streaming here. But they said something. You know, now I think about it, Lexi is. You know, let's not think about the gendering of this name too much. But they said they sung a sea shanty in a coffee shop, and they got a free copy as a result. And you know what? I need to. You know, whether that's a joke or not, I choose to believe it's the truth. I want to talk about something really interesting, you know, because I was speaking about like how you can will something into the world, and like, you know what, it's easy to mention that with, like, big businesses like the Elon Musks of the world, and like, you know, like, sure, that's a thing you can say, but the much more interesting version is on a small scale, because my brother told me this handy trick at there's a coffee chain in the UK. It's called Pret a Manger. They've got this. They give the staff a lot of freedom about giving out free drinks. I don't know why that is. I think that more places should be like that, and then you'd have a, you know, I reckon the benefits probably outweigh the costs. Maybe, or maybe you think it's terrible. Let me know. But there's this chain, and my brother told me this thing. Like, you know what? Because they're so able to give out coffees, you just say to them, "Hey, so I heard if we play." If, you know, I heard on the grapevine, if we play a game of rock, paper, scissors and I win, I get a free coffee. And most of them will be like, some of them will be like, no, sir, you must have misheard. But most of them will be like, go on then. It's a fake rule. It's one you can make up on the spot. But then, like, you know what? You've already put in all the work, and like, you know what? It would feel rude to say no at this point. So they just go with it. And I don't know why I find that so interesting, but I do. I love, you know, like, if you go to, you know, if you go to, like, a subway, if you go somewhere where the employee has some control, and you just say something jovial, something interesting, you can make something into existence. You know, this is what the Karens of the world. Also, hello, Big Ol. It's IBX Lake Cat. I get it. Also, thank you, CheeseB555, for the no homo. Glad we have ended I'm not sure what I'm going to say here, but I know it's going to be offensive. I don't know what I was going for, but I would like to take back the sentence I started there. But I'd have to tip big enough to cover the cost of the drink. Thank you for doing that, Lexi HG. Thank you for allowing the sea shanty world to continue. You have made the world a more merry, shantyable place. Anyway, Toycat, just put the obsidian in the offhand and use your shovel. Does not work on Bedrock. Thank you for the suggestion, though. If that did work, I would be, you know, that would be cool. It doesn't work, though, so I'm just going to have to say thank you for the suggestion instead. You know, actually, do I have to thank you for the suggestion? If you give a bad suggestion, do I have to thank you for it? I'm a big believer that we shouldn't thank people based on the effort alone. There should be some additional thank you if you also, you know, do something good. Like, oh yeah, thank you for putting in the effort. But really, thank you to let's find a nice comment in chat. You know, thank you to everyone who's chatting right now. But also, you know, people who say things like, "Is this pre-recorded?" Pamhan Red. You know what? You should know Toycat streams aren't pre-recorded. It'd be very easy to work that out. Bad comment. A Kiwi with internet says A. Bad comment. Thank you for putting in the effort. But also, could you put in more effort next time? You know, Toycat the ungrateful streamer. You're handsome today, says Whiskey Boy Jam. See, right? Those are real. That's them be real words right there. So is the biome just obsidian, or you add other mini structures like obsidian trees? Honestly, I haven't considered it too much, but clearly that's a good idea that I should definitely be pursuing, right? I don't know why I'm not already making the obsidian trees. So what's the dealio of your obsidian biome project and talking about thank yous, says Danielle. See, look at that. There's a real comment. You know what? No thank you though for I just want to tear into people at this point. It's more fun to do that. You know, it's a universal truth of the world that it's easier to tear people down than to build them up. And it's one of those things that I think we should always be like adjusting for. Like, yep. Saying it's especially because, like, I don't know, saying negative things is always more likely to be correct or something than not. I love how you do stuff for nothing, says Poggers the cat. I mean, you say nothing. I take offense at that description, though. Also, by the way, despite a lot of my projects being, like, YouTube things mostly, this is one that I haven't done the YouTube angle for. So we'll have to kind of see how that goes. Alfie Days was cancelled like 5 years ago for living on $1 a day video, where he just went into places and asked for free stuff. Oh, yeah. So I actually watched that video, not because I think he's one of the... Am I allowed to just insult YouTubers? You know, okay, I don't hate him because he's a YouTuber. I am because he's probably a very... He's the sort of human being I would not get along with. I'm sure he's a great YouTuber. I mean, I'm sure he's not. But, like, there's a... He just seems like an incredibly dull human being that, again, that's... It's fine to be dull if you've got, like, some talent. But it's like, you know, if you don't have either of those things, it's like... This is just a human being that just exists in the world. Anyway, so I watched this video. And besides being incredibly... Besides missing the point about... You know, he's clearly got business talent or something. Like, he's got a lot of subscribers, right? That's a thing. Also, good day, Papa Toy Cat. This is my tax. I hope you are Welsh. I'm glad to say I'm 100% housefire free and have been ever since I subscribed to IBX Toy Cat. Hey, good man, lag is great. Or good lag person. Anyway, yeah. Besides just tearing into some random YouTuber. But like, yeah, I watched the whole video. And the craziest bit is, you know, he had to apologize and be like, I didn't understand. The craziest thing to me was, like, driving his car and being like, I already filled it up. And it's like, that's not how cost works, you know, Mr. And it's, and again, it seemed, you know, even though he is probably a not smart human being, you know, people, it's really offensive to suggest that, like, any, you know, like, any woman is, like, you know, sleeping with someone for their, like, position, etc. Or, like, you know, when someone's girlfriend gets famous or whatever, and you're like, You know, he's like the male version of that, right? I want to say is, you know, I don't know, I gotta stop just tearing into some stranger on YouTube. Okay, let's stop doing that. He's a great guy in some way, I'm sure. Anyway, so this wonderful human being who's very smart and intelligent. Like, you might assume that the reason he made the mistake of thinking, yeah, the car's already filled up, and I'm just gonna use my YouTube channel to get free stuff, and that's like... But even though it seems very obvious to you or me, dear viewer, that it seems incredibly obvious that, well, you can't count that as free, can you? It is how a lot of people perceive their finances. And especially if you're wealthy, you know, I don't know how independently wealthy he was before YouTube, but like, you know, they've got many, many tens of millions of views, or they had at one point. You know, there are brands of makeup named after her. You know, they've got some money going on, you know? Which, again, go get some is always my attitude. I don't like people who would say, like, don't do that. But, these people miss the point that, like, yeah, just because things don't cost money now, they don't cost... Like, there's a things costing money... If you pay rent and it's $700 a month, that's not you pay rent once a month. That's the financial exchange element. But it means that your apartment costs, what, $23? Let's take a better example. If your rent is $300 a month, and there's 30 days in a month, which some months there are, then your rent is $10 a day. It's not free to live in your apartment today. It's not like, yeah, I just pay once a month and I get to live for free the rest of the time. No, you pay every day that you live there, but you then only pay once a month. I don't go to the store you know, one of the things I used to be really proud about, was like trying to have as many days where I spent 0 as I could. But you can't be under the illusion that you're actually spending 0. You know, my heating, which is not running right now, gladly. The electricity I'm using to make this live stream. Thank you for helping to pay for that. Mr. Daniel Gamers plays. Hello, I hope you're doing great. I think it's all too common, sadly, to just kind of forget that everything has like an ongoing cost. You know, the ongoing costs are the scary ones, honestly. Like when you see a packet of crisps for £1, you know.
Got my T-shirt the other day, enjoying it. Here is my toy.
Hey, thank you, TSK.
LOL.
Jesus shirt freak. Wait, Jesus freak. I put the shirt in there. You know, don't know what I did there, but thank you very much. And you know, here's the thing about your Toy Cat shirt. It might have cost you, I don't know what my merch costs up front. It's like whatever the distribution costs are plus like $3 or something. It costs you like $19 up front, but now you can wear that shirt 100 times and it's 19 cents a use if you do intend to use it that way. Glad to catch the stream. Also glad to keep with the expensive theme. You needed diamond block desert well or something like that. Oh, that's such a good idea. What do you reckon, chat? A diamond block desert well? I kind of want like a... I kind of, you know, what I really want to do is I want to have like a ancient debris one or like something like that. But I think diamond block is much more fitting. Or maybe we could have like a diamond slash gold block. What's like a equivalently rich block? Anyway, so I need to stop covering all of the blocks because otherwise darkness spots will appear. Again, until we've lit this thing up from underneath, we need to be very careful about this whole thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm still working on the edges first, by the way. That's my first goal here. Edges first, everything else comes second. But yeah, I guess it's like, and again, I can make fun of YouTubers all day, and believe me, I am doing that right now. But also, I think we all have a weak spot for personal finances, because it's not a thing we're taught about, and it is a very complex thing that a lot of marketing, a lot of businesses will want you to think that it's simple. Like, oh yeah, you know, okay, you know the most annoying one? So I have a subscription to free coffee. I get free coffee. I'd show you my subscription to free coffee, but then you would have my free coffee subscription and I would not. So I have a subscription to free coffee. It's not free. I pay £20 a month for it. It's and I haven't paid any months yet. I'm not gonna pay. I'm gonna probably cancel it before the first month comes up for renewal. But I think that I think that so many people are lured in by free things. Like, okay, so I can get into airport lounges, right? And a lot of people are excited by like, yeah, free food, or like, you know, flying. If you fly a legacy airline, so like an airline that existed back when airlines used to be fancy. If you fly on a long flight of a legacy airline, you'll get free food. Even sometimes on a medium-sized flight. Sometimes a short flight. If it's not in America and it's an old airline, you'll get free food. However, allow me to break your heart, internet. It's not actually free food, is it? I mean, in some sense, it's free, but it's actually you pay for you're paying money for the ticket that includes food. You know, the ticket is more expensive because they also have to, as well as paying for jet fuel and staff, they have to pay some facility to make a bunch of, you know, pasta dishes or whatever. Deal with the waste. You know, like there is a cost to everything, even if it's not directly borne. You know, like this is why it's like a little scary that some people think like, wow, I can't believe that we don't spend money on X. And it's like, we spent money on X, we wouldn't have it for Y. Nah, it's free. And it's like, but that's not how that works at all, is it? And it's like, well, I want it to work that way, and so it does. But yeah, so like, I know, like luring people into anything with like free something, it's always like, well, free's the wrong word. Complimentary. You know, if you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and then you pay to get in, it's all free food, but you know you've paid in advance. But if you pay for a hotel room and then they give you as part of that a ticket to the all-you-can-eat buffet, you see that as a free ticket. But really, the room is more expensive than it otherwise might be. Also, JuiceFan999, Toycat, who's your favorite musician/band? Hey, thank you for asking, JuiceFan999. I don't think I have one. I would love to tell you, like, I love... Like, it's such a dumb question to not have an answer for. Everyone has an answer. But I don't, because, you know, I suck. Toycat, look out behind you, a giant totem undying. Nothing's free, just sometimes the way it's done is not with money. That's a good way of putting it too, I guess. I mean, in some cases, things are like, okay, you know, when you go to Costco, they will give you free samples, right? And that is free. I mean, it's a very small amount of free stuff, but it's free. But the reason it works is because they have the data that shows that a high enough percentage of people do in fact start, you know, enough people will buy the product if they do that it's worthwhile for them to give you free food. Oh, this is all the way down at Desert Lair. I need to... Huh, this is a really weird area, huh? We'll deal with it later. For now, we'll just work our way around this block which apparently is not a part of the desert. Work our way down here. I have so much obsidian, I can just waste it on silly things. Isn't it nice to be me? So Kat, giving the teens of today is life lessons. This is Lydia Gray. I don't know how I got on such a rant so early on. Speaking of early on rants, how is your day going, internet? My day's going well. I get this kind of weird feeling. Like, one of the reasons I enjoy YouTube is I like to make things that people enjoy. One of the reasons I enjoy YouTube though is it's one of the places, sorry, I've got like a really gross toe thing that's like having some issues. Had to fix that. Do you want to hear about my gross toe thing some more? I bet you do. No, one of the things I like about YouTube a lot is it's one of the few forms of like doing something where you can see if you've done a good or a bad job immediately. You know what's terrifying? Also, thank you, Mr. Person who says hi. How are you doing? My day would be vastly improved if you answer this question. Would you punch a cactus if it looked at your sister wrong, says Ryan. That's funny. Cactuses are always looking at my sister wrong. No, I've always wanted a sister, and whenever I tell people, they're like, ugh, gross, dude. And it's like, no, I need to know. Everyone insists, like, oh, well, I don't, find my sister attractive. And it's like, yeah, I understand that. You wouldn't date her. She's not, that's a terrible idea. I'm glad that you're not on the dating your sister train. But, can you discern if she is, and everyone's like, oh, no, I need to know. I need to be aware of this. But everyone's always like, no. Well, you see, I don't think about it. And it's like, I get it. There are gross things. I don't consider whether I would, what's something really gross here? I don't consider very often, at least. The sorts of questions like, so would you eat, could I eat, what's something objectively gross? Would you rather eat your own, would you rather eat poop or vomit, ooh, I don't consider that question often. But if you asked me, I would not go, oh, gross, man, I'd eat neither. It's like, no, I honor the concept of, I like to honor the concept of, someone asks a question, if you don't hate that person and, if you can trust the person not to use it out of context. Because that's the worst thing about kids, right? They'll be like, oh, he says he wants to eat poop. And it's like, given the alternative was, eating throw up. Actually, it'd definitely be throw up. If it's your own poop and your own throw up, I guess, nah, let's not think about it. Chat, what would you rather eat, your own poop or your own throw up? I'm torn on this one. I think this is I think we found the hardest question of the day, honestly. My sister's gay, so she wouldn't like me anyway, even if I wasn't related to her. 2, I don't live in Alabama. Yeah, it does have to be worth mentioning that, crazy thing about Alabama is, even when you break up, even when you get divorced, you're still family. Also, vomit. Yeah, I guess vomit. Vomit does seem like the obvious answer. I definitely think vomit is the, if you had to pick one of the two. Most people probably shouldn't pick either of the two. But if you were in that situation, that's a good one. There's a lot of other gross bodily fluid questions you can get to. What if we made it quantities, right? What if it's drink a liter of urine? This is only going bad places. At my first wedding, my bridesmaid was like, Pat, your brother is hot. I knew he wasn't ugly, but I just hadn't noticed. He's just my brother. See, right? It's the sort of thing you're not paying attention to. But that's why I'm like, okay, pay some attention real quick. Is she attractive? That's what I'm saying. I think that I think a healthy, medieval culture where you're like, oh yeah, so my whole thing is I marry my sister off for conquest and gain. I want my sister to date the bank manager, so the bank manager is nicer to me and will give me a loan, or whatever the modern version of that would be. Side note, I do have a friendly relationship with my bank manager. It helps you out a lot. It's a very fun thing that I totally recommend to everyone. Anyway, so it depends on the type of vomit / poop. This is the worst string. We've already devolved into a layer of degeneracy that we shouldn't have got to this early. But okay, we've gone down the rabbit hole anyway. Chat, what if it's a liter of your own urine, or 10 10 milliliters, so 1% as much vomit. You know, just the liquid vomit, not the solid. Solid stuff's gross, obviously. But if it was just the liquids, if it was just the liquid vomit stuff, well, how would you feel there? Should I make a low obsidian? Yeah, I'm gonna build upwards onto this. It'll be smaller than it was before, but that's fine. Also, thank you, the Queen of Absol. What's your favorite color of ice cream? So, my favorite flavor of ice cream, like, if you're talking about the boring flavors, like, you know, I want ice cream that has pieces of chocolate in it, etc., etc. But if I can't have that, if we're being boring, in this world, then I would say my favorite, like, legit flavor is probably rum raisin. Okay, urine, vomit. There we go. We got one where people are actually divided 50-50. There we go. This is so odd. Yeah, one of the characteristics that I tend to find defines people. Like, again, we try to put people in boxes by, like, what they do, or, like, we put people in boxes by their, you know, like, their nationality, or maybe their sexuality, if you're one of those types of people. I think the most interesting box is, like, how soon you can be disgusted. You know, we all have different disgust levels that trigger based on different things. I've seen the strange addiction lady that drinks her own urine. I have not, and I am kind of glad for that. Also, haha69 says, "Kid, I bombed your mum." You have a very fun username, friend. You have a very fun username. Anyway, so I think like different levels of disgust is a really interesting one, because some people are literally, you know, they feel high levels of like, oh my god, I need this to stop. And some people are like, that's a fun question. I wonder which, you know, like, it's got both ways. You know, my favorite one that you definitely can't ask on the internet is like, if you're gonna, you know, no, I can't do this one. I'll get into trouble. But, you know, there's a really good one that's like terrible. Again, the more terrible something is, I find the better it is for bonding and finding friends. Because, you know, we're all terrible, really. We're all terrible, really. Are you going to mine more obsidian or finish mining the end city? Yeah, the fact that I didn't finish mining the end city is something I remember like once a week, and I'm like, I should do that. Am I going to do that? It's a good question that you're asking. I'm glad you are. But the answer is one I don't know the answer to. Also, ask it, says Brody Privet. And there's enough going on in my life without dealing with some drama. Because like I said, you know, things are going well on YouTube right now. I'm happy. The cool thing about YouTube, like, for whatever reason, the third channel, scooter videos, are, wait, what's the word? Popping off. Like that, they're seeing like growth every day in a way that I find endlessly fascinating. But, I think, okay, let's do that, I guess. Sure. I think the thing I like about YouTube so much, and even though it's got its many bizarre quirks, is that you can always like tell like if you're doing a good job. Like there's so many things in life, you know, even the whole like, oh yeah, is someone really enjoying your question about vomit or, you know, urine, or are they disgusted and they want you to leave? You don't know if it's hard to know if you're doing a good job at conversation. Although the vomit, urine conversation, don't worry, you're nailing it if you're asking that. It's hard to know if you're even doing a good job in a conversation. How are you ever supposed to know? Also, just make the end, but the tower's at endstone. Oh yeah, imagine like making the end into obsidian for the main like build, and then endstone for the towers. It's an absolutely terrible idea that I really want to do now. Also, why... So, Kat, do you use 12 hours? Also, you're not the real PewDiePie. Thank you, PewDiePie Pie, for letting me know. Also, do you lose 12 hours or 24 hours? I use 24-hour time because I think it's faster to read and looks nicer. So, in real life, I use 12-hour time. On the internet, I try to use 24-hour time. Partially because like, you're typing it, not saying it, so it's... 1600 is harder to say than 4 p.m. or 4 o'clock or just 4. But 1600 and 400 to type are about the same amount of effort. But the other reason is online. There's all time zones. So right now, as I say this, it is 9:37 p.m. 21:37 to be precise. I said the p.m., but you get the point, right? It's late in the day, but it's gonna be different times based on where everyone is. And like saying 21:37, like if I say it's 9:37 where I live, that genuinely could mean either. Like I could be in New Zealand right now, living it up, or I could not be. Does anyone outside the US use the 12-hour clock, says Cat. Yeah, no, so I know, I spent a lot of time in Germany, in like 2017, and everyone there is like 24-hour. They find the 12-hour thing weird. Also, what's the equivalent for pee-poo and pee-pee and poo-poo, but for vomit? Voo-voo. Voo-voo. Vom-vom? Yeah, I guess it'd be vom-vom. No, I like voo-voo. You're right. I'm taking voo-voo. Also, you should make an obsidian desert well. Says Queen of the Absols. I think it's going to be a diamond desert well. I think we've decided that's how it's going to be. And I'm going to have it be above like a giant reservoir maybe. Like I wish that desert wells could be. Again, I've got many good ideas. Whether they lead to anything is indeed something else. It's 10:37 a.m. here. Yeah, I'm in New Zealand and I use a 12-hour clock, says Funcat1. Tell me about New Zealand, Mr. Funcat1. I mean, I might miss it, but tell me about it anyway. Tell the internet about New Zealand. If I would buy house insurance, then unsubscribe my BX Toycat, would it be considered insurance fraud if my house burns down? I hate to break it to you, Jack Blevins. I wish the answer wasn't yes. But sadly, yeah, if you don't tell your insurance provider about an unsubscription to the IBX Toycat YouTube channel, they will use it as an excuse to deny your claim. Because that's the sort of thing you need to disclose to them. So, fun fact, now you know. Glad I can help you out on this one. Okay, so I'm going to just build a whole new layer of obsidian going through the middle here. It's going to connect over there. It's going to be good. But yeah, I think, first of all, by the way, thank you, Jack Blevins. Hope you're doing good today. Whenever I'm building, I feel like I'm slightly less responsive to comments and tips or whatever. I feel bad about that. Should I feel bad about that? You know, now we're getting into, is guilt a valuable emotion, you know? It's like disgust, right? Some people are genuinely, like, not like, oh yeah, I don't like the words that you're saying, Toycat. Please don't ask me if I drink vomit or urine because it makes me disgusted to talk about. But some people are like, whatever, it's fine. But disgust is one of those like feelings because you know, like it's a really valuable thing. Being, you know, if the whole world was disgusted, I think we'd probably would avoid a lot more viral outbreaks because everyone would be washing their hands like crazy. Like, oh, I touched the subway. Like, there are so many things I touch on a day-to-day basis if I'm outside or using public transport. And it's like, man, my immune... Either there aren't a lot of viruses out there, like we're led to believe, or my immune system is just fighting off, like, constantly things. Whereas if you're, like, disgusted by things easily, it's like, you know, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to do something about that. Also, we're going to... Wherever this is, we're going to build, like, a new, slightly higher level. Just to, like, match up with this. Also, thank you, GB Def. Wait, did I read that correctly? GTB Def. Thank you for the build ideas throughout your channel. Hey, Nick, you're welcome, GTB Def. I've got a new video that, like, is either going to be the best or the worst build idea one I've ever made. It took me 3 months to, like, collate just things I found really cool. But the style I did it in, like, I don't know, I'm very, I don't want to say I'm critical of my own stuff, because, like, I'm my own harshest critic, is, like, the bigger, I find that to be a very full of yourself thing to say. Like, you know what? My harshest critic is actually like, VomVomFox57, who tells me that, actually, you know what? You repeated yourself, and therefore you're lazy. You know, you're just as bad as someone who like, goes around getting free stuff, and calls it living on a pound a day. The more you're exposed to sickness and diseases, the stronger your immune system gets. I've heard that, and it makes sense as to why that would be true. But also, I don't believe that it is. And you might say, why is that, Toycat? And no good reason. It just, like, I don't know. I think I'm exposed to, you know, like, again, I think having a high disgust level probably means you're exposed to fewer germs. I bet being exposed to fewer germs and viruses is better than being exposed to loads. Even though the whole like developing your immune system thing sounds like, you know, that sounds like a really good argument for why we should just, you know, like be sneezing on each other all the time. There's a balance between both sides. Yeah, I mean, like, there's probably an ideal... Like, if you live in a bubble your whole life, and then you deal with the real world, a cold might kill you. I think what it is, like, when you're young, you want to get infected with as many things as you can. Like, you know, there's a concept called, like, freshers flu, or if you go to a convention, con flu, or, like, basically, if you go to events with lots of other people, you will get sick. It just happens to people. Like, it's kind of crazy that, like, we don't have a real solution to that. A virus doesn't mean anything if it can't affect your cells. 99% of the viruses in the world can't infect humans. Oh, it's going to be more than 99%, right? Like, most viruses are just for animals. Hand unsanitization station. Can you imagine if, like... So, like, hypothetically, again, like, we're talking about garbage science here, so I'm sorry. If you're an immunologist, this is going to hurt. Everything I'm saying is going to hurt. But, I think that someone should tell that to the Native Americans during the Great Exchange. See, right, if they'd have just sneezed on each other more, then they could all be better off. No, so something about the thing that makes European... Like, let's call it the West now. The whole world does this now, but it came first from Europe.
Toy
so...
cat tax because you're awesome.
Hey, thank you, Amandarie. Am I awesome? You know, I would say no, but now I've got verifiable proof. In fact, I'm a professional at being awesome. Because being a professional is just being paid for something. I was just paid for being awesome. Professionally awesome. No, thank you so much, Amandarie. I hope you're doing good today. Yeah, I think, like, if you think about the... You know, we always talk about the social side of how humans used to live in tiny villages and how interesting that was. Think about the disease side. We used to live in villages where, like, how would a disease even get in? It had to go from animals to humans. Now it's just a given that there is so many, you know, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, or 6 we found out that's not what it's called, but I'm sticking with it anyway. Like, the fact that I have 6 links, if I have a deadly virus, for me it's free, I'm 3 links away from Kevin Bacon. I can infect Kevin Bacon with my disease, and then just 6 more links from there, he can get to you. You know, the fact that that is possible tells you how interconnected we are. Because I don't know where he lives. I'm assuming he lives in Hollywood. Hollywood is far away from where I live, to the best of my understanding of geography. Also, Caitlin Kirby, I love your videos and streams. They make my day. Hey, thank you, Caitlin. Your comment made my day. I mean, made my day would be a strong word. But you know what? Made my day is... It made my day better. There we go. Which I'm assuming is what made my day is meant to mean in the first place, but that's fine. But yeah, I think the interesting thing about, like, the world is, like, when we start building cities have always been known as a place where diseases spread. And it makes sense, because we have humans and animals living like, a lot of animals living near humans, and then a lot of humans living near humans that do that. Eating poop strengthens the immune system, says African Elephant. And that's why I'd rather eat poop than vomit, I'm just saying. But, yeah, we used to live in, like, you know, cities used to be known as the place people died. It's always been, cities can't replace their population. Even now, it's for different reasons. Cities can't replace their population. They have to have people come from outside the city into it. You know, they need, a city needs, you know, like, I don't want to use the word immigrant because that's politically charged, but you need people to join a city. Because people are inevitably, now they leave it, but previously they died there. And it's because so many people, so many diseases, so much happening. And now think about the fact that, like, so Europe, around the time of the exchange of conflict, was cities of these, and, you know, like, although there were Native American cities that had, like, 10,000 people in them, I want to say, which is a large number if you think about, compared to your assumption of how many people would live in a Native American city, or Indian, whichever word you want to use. I've heard that Native Americans prefer the term Indian, and, like, it's one of those... Also, Daddy Hoot, thank you for becoming a channel member. It's really hard, right? Because, you know, that's what I've heard. That, like, oh yeah, the term Native American is something Americans try to use, like, and, you know, the Native American Indians themselves prefer that term. Or what they prefer is being called by their tribe. They want to be, you know, they don't see themselves as one big group. They see themselves as, you know, it's like how you don't see yourselves probably on a day-to-day basis as being white. You're American or you're Italian or you're whatever. You know, it's really interesting. Identities like being thrust onto people. Should we be allowed to do that is a question. And although everyone wants to put the answer as no, like on a. Also, how many Toycat Hex is your Toycat? Thank you, Antonio DeMarco. How many hair scrunchies? There's too many hair scrunchies, says Jessica Forsyth. My answer, I have like 12 hair ties I bought in 2015 from Poundland, I want to say, and I still have 2 of those lying around, and I still find the other ones just like littered around because I've given them to various people in that time. Let's hope no one finds out about that. But I think the interesting thing about that is that you don't need more than one. Like you need 2, one for a spare, and then you maybe need a third. When you get past like 10, they just surround everything. Toycat, do you watch Stupid Grey? Yeah, that's where I heard that thing about the Indians. I'm not gonna pretend I spoke to a group of Native Americans and or Indian tribes about it. I'm just gonna say, yep, watched the video, and you know, it was a good video, so I kind of like to believe I'm pretty informed on the subject. In Spanish, you call them indigenous people / population or their tribe name. So like the ideal term is like tribe name, but like if you're trying to describe the collection of them, it's like, well, they would argue they're not a collection. It's an interesting thing about how we think about labels, right? Because, you know, it's like that, you know, the same reason that some people are very upset with the binary of the world. And it's like, no, I don't fit in there. But even then you need like, oh yeah, so the term to describe me is I'm someone outside the binary, a non-binary. You know, like, everyone, like, trying to find terms that we kind of like have to, for demographic purposes, assign terms to people. And it's interesting on a social sense it works differently to on like a societal sense, but it still does. Also, Sesame Street is awesome, says Elmo. I watched Sesame Street because my parents always tell me I watched it a bunch. I can't tell you anything about it besides Elmo's there. There's a big bird. There's some people who eat trash, maybe. Again, I'm very underinformed on Sesame Street. I hate to break it to you. I wish that wasn't true. I wish I was overinformed. It's all I want to be. I want to be overinformed, but instead, I am here, the underinformed of the world. So I'm going to put my barrel over... I want to put it like somewhere where I can place a hopper and then a chest. We'll just place the barrel here. Because I'm going to start taking up a lot of sand as part of my quest. And also the obsidian chest is now empty. Probably could have just started placing the sand in there, but let's not think about it. Have you heard of the fourth turning? Our current crisis has been predicted 30 years ago. Everything from 9/11 to the pandemic. I'm really skeptical of people who say they predict the future. And the reason I'm skeptical is because, first of all, like, you know, almost anything that's perfectly accurate but never spoken about, you know, like, things gather attention if they're, like, legit generally. But if we're like, Big Bird isn't a bird, he's actually Cthulhu in disguise. This stream has made me feel happy and fun. Sometimes I crave these during depressing times. I'm sorry for depressing times, William King. I can offer you my optimism that I don't think we'll be in depressing times much longer. I'm basically alone in thinking that. But I do believe the way out is ahead of people now. For the first time in a while. Also, I started the Don't Abandon Your World strategy, and now I have 150 days in it, and I'm getting Netherite for the first time. What is the Don't Abandon a World strat, Rick Acne? I'm genuinely curious. I don't think I understand what you mean by you developed a strategy. Please do tell me, Mr. Rick. Some bad things will happen in the future, then they'll get better, then worse again, and so on, says Seth Evans. Yeah, like, the problem with predictions is either they're really vague. I will predict, at some point in the next 10 years, a economic recession. And it's like, okay, we kind of already know that. I predict that there'll be a war between 2 nations. Okay, there's 195 nations, and there's always some form of war going on. So you're gonna be correct if and if it's a really big way, it's correct. Like, oh yeah, America and Russia go to war. Wow, he predicted a war between 2 nations. Whereas also if it's like, oh yeah, Kuwait invaded Syria, it's like, look, Toy Cat, he's correct. It's like very hard not to be correct if you set your predictions broad enough. But then when they are specific, what generally tends to end up happening is, people who predicted insert crisis here. There's a really fun phrase for it. It's like, the doomsayers who predict all these election things have predicted like 8 of the last 2 recessions, or the doomsayers have predicted 12 of the last 2 bad events. It's like, yeah, you can predict bad events all you like, but the reason that it works is because you're just predicting enough of them that eventually something hits the mark. It's like if you follow the world of finance, and you know what, if you have some form of investments or pension, which I really hope you are, if you're of working age and watching this, something really interesting is like, should you buy index trackers, or should you buy individual stocks, or try and track the market? And some people say like, oh yeah, what you do is you buy a collection of stocks that someone tells you to. But no one, like, even though...
I predict you'll get some of this money. Cool face.
I predict that you're a very nice person, Alejandro. Hey, thank you. I hope you're having a very good Friday. Man, the week went past so fast. I've been so caught up on this whole house thing that's been going nowhere, by the way. Like, it's such a blatant, like, I'm at this point, like, being played. Like, they're just desperately trying to find anyone else who wants to buy the house, so they can like play us off against each other or something. Because that's how you get the best price. Like you need multiple buyers before you can trick them into paying more for property. Anyway, so I've been just waiting to like get a house locked down, etc., etc. Speaking of lockdown, am I right? No, no house yet. Nah, yeah, it's literally been just sat there for a while. They're just like, we just haven't been able to contact the owner. And it's like, what do you mean? You know where he lives. You know where he lives. I think it's I think it's a little bit of a I don't know. Again, I'm mildly annoyed, but of course I'm mildly annoyed. But yeah, I'm just waiting for them to. I think I'm really lucky in that like house prices are going down right now, and so people want to like get their property off their hands sooner rather than later, I would guess. And there aren't going to be many buyers because something that terrifies people is the concept of like house prices going down, because it's the biggest purchase you'll make in your life. Like have you ever felt bad because you bought something and then it went down in price a little after? My worst example of that is probably like yesterday I bought 10 pieces of boneless chicken from KFC for £10. Plus there was like a £1 delivery fee or something. But like I spent £10 on 10 pieces of chicken, and then literally like an hour after it arrived, I got a notification that they're doing a new promotion that's 10 pieces of chicken for £5. And that felt bad, right? But now imagine it's not like £5. It's like £5,000 or £50,000 that like your house has gone down by. Like people. It's one of the most like ironic self-fulfilling prophecies, but people hate buying houses in places where house prices aren't going up, because you wanna feel like you're just getting in there good. And again, self-fulfilling prophecy sucks in some ways, but for me, I'm hoping it goes somewhere good. So Kat, do you know that the Nev portal that was loads of Obsidian that you made? With all that Obsidian, you could prepare the cave update and make a 200/300 block tall useless Nether portal. Yeah, I totally did consider making an even bigger useless Nether portal. Then I considered, you know what, let's not. But imagine if we make one that's like, 432 by 432 blocks wide. Wait, no, we could go, I guess, 300 by 300, yeah, after the update. No, wait, 376 by 376 block wide. Like, exactly from the furthest down bedrock we can do to the ceiling. That is a fun idea. Bathroom is hall arrives soon. £1 for each chicken, says Coley MC. my friend said something that like has stuck with me for a really long time. Because he bought like 20 chicken wings once. And I was like, that's 10 chickens there. And I was like, nah, that's funny. But it's like, man, that's crazy. Like, you know, when you eat meat, you kind of know like, yeah, something has to die for this. But like when you eat that many chicken wings, and you can buy like 50 chicken wings at like a Hooters, you can have like an inordinate amount of death per thing. Don't they not light after a certain size? Oh yeah, it wouldn't work as a portal. But that's what makes it genius, right? That's what makes it such a fun build to me. Okay, so we're gonna take all of the dead bushes and slash what are they actually called? Dead bush. Okay, I'm just very dumb. We're gonna take all of the dead bushes and we're going to put them in our chest, I guess. I love chicken genocide. Yeah, it is I think it's something I think about a lot. Like, I hate chickens, don't get me wrong. As much as the next person. But also the insanity that is the amount of chickens we have to do. Like, if we all ate, like, beef or pork, the amount of, like, you know, like, assuming you think an animal's life is equal, regardless of the type of animal, then the way you'd minimize, like, animal death is we could all eat, like, steak. Because, like, you get way more cuts of beef from a cow than you do cuts of chicken from a chicken. I don't know, I think about lots of things like that. That's why I love chicken wings. The death is spicy. I mean, there's no other food where you can guarantee so much death has had to occur for it. Hey, thank you, Lando MT. I appreciate the tip. Also, I love your this is advice. Also, did that spawn right there, right now? Huh. Also, I agree with you. Your tip squeaky well. Time in the market beats timing the market. Wait, timing in the market? Yeah, everyone always likes to say, like, yeah, I've got this perfect time to invest. The easiest way to make money is time. The only thing you need to make money in stocks is time. Every stock, you know, the average stock goes up. So have enough stocks that, like, your average goes up. You'll lose some money on some, but you make enough money on the others that it all works out. He's gonna die from the fire. Oh, that was a bad prediction. Toy Cat, I killed over 70 chickens in my Minecraft world today. I bet that felt good, am I right? I bet that felt good. Good little bit of chicken genocide starting off your day. Oh god, I've gotta do something here, I guess. Illager banner. Man, I really am gonna have to do that stream where I just spend all day organizing chests sometimes. It's gonna be great. So yeah, we're gonna have to go do a raid in the next 99 minutes. Do you want to finish off the stream with a raid, chat? I mean, I'm gonna forget, but would you like to see it anyway? If you'd like to see it, then I can try and remember. And if you wouldn't like to see it, then I'll also try and remember it. The exact same level of efficiency. But the funny thing about meat is that it takes 2 kilograms of feed to make 1 kilogram of chicken, but 8 kilograms of feed to make 1 kilogram of beef. Oh, so that's okay. That's even more interesting. Wait, yeah. So, Sabik Mahmud, even though per life cows are more efficient, per like not only like environmentally wise, but also like land wise, the more efficient food is chickens. So it depends on whether you care about lives or whether you care about the planet. And isn't that a fun strategy? Obviously, like, the easiest way is to just not eat meat. Like, lots of people manage to do that every day. But assuming that is impossible, because maybe it literally is dietarily impossible for you. It isn't, but maybe it is. If only that raid was here for yesterday's stream, could have helped you prepare. Right, I mean, I feel like I get way more raids on this world than I do everywhere else combined. I don't know why I feel that way, but it's the way I feel and it's valid, okay? You can't invalidate my feelings. Wait, chat, here's a fun one. How many of you are vegan? Just say, yes, I'm a vegan, or no, I'm not a vegan. I'd love to... Because the statistics are like... You know, it's something like 1% of people. But I bet amongst young people, that's a lot higher. So tell me your veganism and or not veganism. Nope. Okay, nope. I got one vegetarian in here. One vegetarian. Oh, and then Pluto's a vegan. Not vegan, but vegetarian. Yes. Yes, we got 2 vegetarians and 2 vegans out of everyone so far. Man, we've got like over 100 responses. I'm trying. Vegetarian only. I eat vegans. That's fun. So we got. I'm sad, says Chantal. So we got. I'm gonna count Chantal in there as a vegan, and we're gonna say, you know what? That's free. That's 3 vegans, 3 vegetarians from a sample size of about 200 to 300. That's interesting. I mean, like, maybe should expect. Maybe it's not so interesting to everyone else. Maybe that's like about what you'd expect. But I would have guessed because of the youth. You know, like you always assume like, yeah, well, that's gonna be a lower number, but maybe not. Veganism is a conspiracy by soy farmers and the Illuminati. I saw a really depressing graph the other day. Depressing is maybe not the right word, but like, assuming that you like, some people think veganism is the way, regardless of any benefits. Like, well, plants are what people should eat, but like most people agree, it's like, it's either about minimizing life's loss or it's the environment, or you know, whatever your thing is. Like everyone has like a reason to be like pro-vegan, right? But the depressing graph that like to get just to clarify here, I'm doing worse by contributing nothing rather than something. But it's like whenever dairy shrinks in the West, it just grows in China as a proportion. But the Chinese market is so much bigger that it means that like meat consumption, even if you ignore the rest of the developing world, it's just always like on an upward curve. And same with like most meats. Like China is so huge on pork, you would not believe it. Like it's funny because we live in like there's 2 big religions in the West, like you know Islam and Judaism that are like very anti-pork, and then like as like a knock-on effect, we're like not so big on pork here. It's crazy how big China is on pork because they don't have the same. And, you know, like, if you don't have the same history as well, then you don't have the same fear of undercooking it. Although you should, by the way. Deadly parasites. But yeah, why would I want to voluntarily not eat chicken and fish? All because of health. Yeah, a lot of people, Icoside76 is vegan too. That's 4 vegans now, chat. That's 4 vegans. No, I do think it's interesting that, like, yeah, some people try to argue like, yeah, there's absolutely no downside, and some people like it's a trade-off worth making, and I think they're both very interesting arguments to make. Minecraft obviously attracts meat eaters. You could argue Minecraft punishes you for not eating meat. I mean, I think first of all, ignoring the fact that like most vegans probably eat meat in a video game, you actually are right that like veganism in Minecraft is actually like you are penalized for it. I think they're doing. Like, nowadays, they try to not encourage you to eat the animals. I would love to, like, get panda meat or something, though. Like, wouldn't you? I would. Golden carrots are easiest and best food, though. Becoming a chef by, made me crippling paranoid about cooking meat, Lamau, says Jordan. Oh, yeah, I've got a friend who's the same. Like, she went to culinary school, and realizing just how easy it is to undercook meat means she never cooks meat anymore. But, like, here's my counter-argument. I always undercook meat. Like, I only overcook or undercook meat, and I'd rather undercook than overcook. So I undercook a lot of meat in my time. Should I be bragging about that on the internet? No, this is a tragedy that you need to help me out with. I'm afraid. But oh god, how are we even gonna do this? So I undercook a lot of meat, and let me tell you, I am fine. In fact, I get some diseases from that meat that help me stay healthy and immune. You know, I probably caught COVID at some point. Didn't even notice because my body's so busy trying to fight the brain parasites and you know, there's a whole list of things that are wrong with me. You know, it was just like, you know, we'll just add COVID to the bottom of that list. That's my suspicion at least. Anyway, yeah, so I can't really be eating medium rare chicken. I don't actually. Chicken is the one meat I will never cook. I will never cook chicken. Like This is the weirdest thing about me. Like, you know, again, I like to pretend I'm so ethical, and I would like to believe I am, but like, you know, by a lot of people's ethics, I'm sure I'm not. One of the weird things about me is like, I literally cannot look at a chicken that is raw and not feel tragically sad. I don't know, like that's not food. That's a dead bird. Like I should feel that when I look at you know, I should look at a steak and be like, that's, but like, it's such a tiny part of a cow. But like, you look at a chicken and it's just that's just a dead bird on your plate that you're gonna cook up. Like, what's wrong with you, man? And then everyone just does it. Everyone's like, yep, that's normal. My friend who was living here for a bit while he looked after the house while I was in Vegas. He had a bunch of those that he left in the freezer. And I'm feeling like sick now thinking about it. Like, you're just gonna cook up some dead bird, man? I've heard medium rare pork is totally safe these days with modern farming practices. Yeah, honestly, if you can trust the farm where your stuff comes from, like, it's fine. That's why in like Japan they're like, yeah, we trust the farm, we know where it comes from. Lol, hi to cat, you smell. Got me good, Zach Pizza. You know, also the name is Zach Pizza, by the way. You know, let's not think about it too much. I'm told if you eat raw beef mince, it most likely won't harm you. There's only one way to know that for sure.
Excited to see you coming to New York. I owe you a steak or a panda meat dinner. I can also show you strange neighborhoods. Let me know.
Okay, David Solomano, I'm going to give you permission to do something I never want from anyone else in my life ever. But send me an email. Let me know the seriousness of your offer, and I would love to eat some panda meat with you sometime, which is definitely a thing you can do in New York. No, what I really want is I want a cronut. I thought a cronut was just a widespread thing, but it's like a New York thing apparently. And there's like this one bakery that it comes from. I want it. That's what I want. I should if I'm also actually wait, if a stranger's offering to pay for food. See, here's a question for you, chat, because it's definitely one of the ways in which I'm also like, again, I'm a terrible person for only thinking of dead bird as real meat, whereas dead cow is like, let's say okay to eat. But let me tell you about so I have a confession to make, and it's not built into anyone else, and clearly I'm not a good person for this. But if someone else offers like, hey, I'll take you out for dinner, I'll pay, I won't buy the most expensive thing on the menu, but I'll buy whatever I want regardless of how expensive it is. If it is like ludicrously expensive, you know, fill the room. But if it is like, oh yeah, you're gonna pay for a steak, so there's a $120 steak, there's a $20 steak, and then there's a range in between, I'm gonna pretend there is no price tag, and I'm gonna look based on that. That's my like, that's my stance on that. But a lot of people have like a deeply ingrained like, if someone offers to pay, you buy that, and then or you even be like, hey, can I get the most expensive, you know, like cheekily ask it, and if they're like, well, that would be silly, you're like, yeah, well, of course I wasn't gonna do it. But if they're like, yeah, of course, that's why I offered, and you go, yeah, I'm gonna eat your steak. You're my favorite e-boy, you can buy the $200 steak. See, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have no shame if you're like, would you like a cronut or a $200 steak? I would say I will have the $200 steak. That's my like I'm a, you know, that's how you maximize the value there. It seems silly to not maximize value, in my opinion. What do you reckon, internet? What do you reckon is the end thing? Also, it feels a bit rude to go for the cheapest item, like you're implying they can't afford that, or they don't like you enough to pay. Oh, I like that. I'm using that. I don't agree with you, but I see your argument. Like, if you get the cheapest thing, you're trying to be like, ooh, you couldn't really afford. When you said pay, like, if someone says they're gonna pay, it's like, yeah, pay for what it would be. It's not, I'm gonna make this as cheap for you as possible so that you can afford to pay it. That's not what you offered. If you offered, hey, I want to pay for everyone's dinner tonight, but let's keep the bill as low as possible because I don't want the expense of paying everyone's bill tonight. I just want the good feeling of it. Side note, okay, you know what, chat? Here, I've got another confession. I don't think, besides if it's like people who have given me a lot and it's like repaying a favor, which maybe tells you something terrible about me. Like I bought dinner for some longtime friends who have helped me out, a bunch of friends, once in Vegas. Like they came to Vegas. I don't think in the rest of my life I've ever been like, I wish I could pay this check. Oh, I'm so upset that I can't pay for everyone's food here. You know, it's never been like a desire of mine. Like, am I doing something wrong? Or do you think that's like the norm? And there are some people who just like, that's their idea of having lots of money. Being able to be like, yeah, don't worry, I'll cover the check. Also, why not get both? If you can pay for a $200 steak, I'm sure you can get a cronut, says Foxy OGHD. See, there's a funny thing about this. Even though the dollar cost of a steak and a cronut is only, what is a cronut? Like, I'm gonna guess $5. Even though it's $205, it's asking for two things. There's a funny thing about social rules, right? That's an age thing, says Myra V. Oh, am I gonna get old and I'm gonna want to pay for dinner, people? Do you reckon? Gonna be like, ah, can't believe you're not letting me pay. I feel emasculated. Just let me grab the check. That's all I want from life. Is steak your favorite thing to eat? Is there something else you like more? Says Sabik Muhammad. So the other traditionally expensive thing is lobster. But I don't like lobster by itself. I like lobster rolls, and lobster rolls are the cheap type of lobster. Like it's like $13 or something for like a good lobster. You know, I'm gonna go to Maine at some point. I hope, like, assuming I'm allowed into America. Still very terrified about that, by the way. I spend many more minutes than I'd like to admit, just stressing about how my interaction with a border agent's gonna go, and an interaction that might not exist because I have the thing where they did a background check so that I shouldn't have to have an interaction with a border guard, but like one could happen at any time anyway. Anyway, so I spend a lot of time stressing about having to justify my whole thing. I paid $30 for lobster rolls. Ooh, is that expensive? It seems like it. I don't know though. Man, there are some things I have such a bad like conception of price for. Like because I live in a medium town that's just outside London. Like prices for a drink, and like, but my taste in drinks is I drink, you know, I drink like I like drinks that are tasty, and mostly that includes like either you know like a tasty cider, or given that that's not often available, it's like a cocktail or something. McDonald's in Nova Scotia have lobster rolls. I don't believe you. I will Google this, and then I will brand you a filthy liar, Chantal. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, McDonald's lobster roll. McDonald's says the lobster roll is made of 100% North Atlantic lobster meat. Oh, it's in New England too. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fact check your. Oh, this is crazy. You can. Wait, do you want to see this, internet? I don't know if you can see this. Lobster roll fund. Thank you, Dazed and Confused Scene, for the $5 tip. Or is it Sean? I don't know. No, thank you so much. I hope you're having a good day. So it's only in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, excluding Fairfield County. I'm assuming Fairfield County is the one that borders New York. Let me Google that. And hey, look at me, I nailed it. Okay, so I can just go to Connecticut and get myself a McLobster roll. That is crazy. Oh, that's in 2017. Oh, it's probably gone by now, right? Okay, now we're gonna quickly confirm. Nova Scotia. McDonald's lobster roll. I'm seeing nothing about it. I'm just seeing TripAdvisor. Feeling the pinch, McLobster priced out of the market by high prices. So, there'll be no lobster rolls at McDonald's this year, in 2017. Okay, chat, do you live in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Massachusetts? Does McDonald's do lobster rolls? That's all I need to know. I will work out the rest. You just get me my lobster rolls, and I can deal with the rest of these details. Fairfield County just hates lobster rolls, huh? Says Pone Kiyu. I think the logic is that Fairfield County is in Connecticut, but functionally speaking, it's a part of New York City. It's like you know, like there's you know, I'm gonna be in New York City, but I'm not staying in New York, even the state, even though I'm closer than 99% of the residents of New York State will live further away from New York City than me living outside of New York, the state, because state lines are weird in the East Coast. I've pointed that out a billion times on the second channel. Don't need to do it here. But yeah, anyone live in one of those states? Tell me about the McLobster roll. I need to know. That feel when you live in LA and lobster rolls are just a fever dream. Okay, if you live in LA, let me tell you about something I dream of every day. I went to this place. It's called Moon Bowls, and it's like LA priced. It was like $16 for a bowl or something. But they had purple noodles, and they were made from sweet potatoes or something. And it was just the tastiest bowl of noodles I've ever had. And it was healthy, they claimed. I mean, it's not, but like, they claimed it was, so I don't have to feel bad about it. But yeah, so thank you very much, by the way, Ryan Hips. What do you think of cultured meat? Tiger burgers? I'm not a big fan of exotic meat, only because I've tried it and it always sucks. There's a reason we eat cows, you know? There's a reason we eat, well, there's other animals called. Also, thank you, Dustin Janice. Very epic. I'm glad you think my streams are very epic. I think that you, sir, are very epic. Also, Axial Gem.
The press wants to know, is IBX Toy Cat going to keep saying up with fire as we near the release of 1.17?
Okay, you know, Axial Gem, for Q&A tomorrow, I brought up the Aquifer, and I called it the Aquifer. I want to stick with Aquifire, because, you know, when someone tells me not to do something, I want to double down. But yeah, I might have slightly misread Aquifer, and you know what, I'm gonna stick with that. You know what? When you make a mistake, don't admit you've done something wrong. Then cancel culture wins. That's what cancel culture is. It's when people tell you to do things you don't want to do. Turtle is fantastic, but it's hard to find nowadays, says African Elephant. Also, hi Toycat, says IBX Clipcat. Hello, Mr. Clipcat. Yeah, I would love to try once every weird, bizarre, like, meat type. I tried whale, and it's the closest thing to steak I've ever felt in my life. You know, and like, even if we ignore the, like, you know, there's a certain cruelty to every animal killing, which, you know, it's a big thing to ignore, but we're going to ignore that anyway. If we ignore that, it's like, you know, I like the idea of, like, at least testing every now and then, like, you know, why do we think about, you know, if we think about life's loss per like meat gotten, the whale is so efficient compared to a chicken. You kill like one chicken, you get one meal. You kill a whale and you get what, like 100 meals. Oh, I think whale's one of those things you're not meant to admit you eat. I think it's one of those, like, oops. I live in Connecticut and there are lobster rolls. Are there lobster rolls at McDonald's? This is what I need to know. I don't want to know about your lobster rolls outside McDonald's. I intend to go to those New England states just for your delicious lobster that I have been told exists. But I need to know otherwise. Also, so Cat, I checked out the new beta because I wanted to build new mountains. I backed up my skins, and you forgot to back up your worlds, and they're gone. Honestly, I never recommend betas on the platform you play on. Do you notice how I've got my you notice how I got my Android phone controller, and I make all my videos on mobile, even though they keep sucking, because the risk of losing some worlds I care about is just too high. And you know, I make money from these videos, and I'm still not willing to take that risk. That should tell you about, like, the level of not good idea that it is. Also, they are at McDonald's, says Logan555YT. Hey! Also, who was in Paris, says Zach Wrightsman. Who was in Paris? I mean, lots of people have been to Paris every single year, is the correct answer. Can't you just copy the save file? Yeah, you can. So what you can do is you can copy your save files across, back them up, and then when you're done, you can re-back up. It's such a nightmare. Everything breaks. Like, it's unlike Java where it's just in, out. It's a pain on Bedrock. Also, how are you on this fine sunny day, says IBX Clipcat. It is not sunny where I live. It's been raining a bunch. My mum says they don't have lobster rolls at McDonald's in Rhode Island. Does your mother live in Rhode Island, but you don't? And to start, you're not. Too many questions. Too many questions. Massachusetts McDonald's does it, but it's always a limited time thing. I just want some McLobster. That's all I want in my life. And I'm so confused at the weird amounts of availability we seem to be finding here. Okay, so I think for this next section, we want to go down like one block more. So we'll do it slowly. We'll have like a nice big chunk over here. And then we'll go down slowly, except for that little hill that we can do. Also, I took out you my hero. Thank you, Joe Hayden. Also, you didn't eat the whale, you ate whales, or rather Welsh food, because as we have previously established, we're all Welsh. Exactly, you know what, chat? As we're all Welsh, I eat... Because, you know, I love you all so much that I'm willing to eat you. That is my official stance, and let's hope that isn't used against me in court sometimes 10 years from now. I recently realized that in under 12 years, I got married, bought a house, left house, got divorced, bought another house, got remarried, had another kid, and that wasn't sane. And that this wasn't sane, says Miss Pat Van Driver later.
I recently realized that in under 12 years, I got married, bought a house, had a kid, left house, got divorced, bought another house, got remarried, and had another kid, and that this wasn't sane.
I remember you like alluded to this. You're like, yep, bought a house, had to sell it. Was a real big regret because it cost you so much. I think it's better that you have your story than like So got married, bought a house, hated everything about my life, and here I am now. I think it's not insane. It's just abnormal, right? I think doing normal things that make you unhappy is a type of insane. It's not insane. It's a type of torture that we don't have to. That we'd say that you should deal with probably more than we should, and I wonder about that. Also, Toy Cat, are you ever going to play a game other than Minecraft on YouTube? Oh, you've been asking that a lot, Yoshi Origami. Yeah. I mean, this main channel is primarily about Minecraft now. I probably went too far into Minecraft. Like, realistically, if Minecraft dies, I always assumed we'd switch to some, you know, like... But I think the channel will just be Minecraft, even 10 years after it's dead, or the channel will die too. I don't know which of those outcomes I prefer. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, honestly. But now, you know that I have. It's going to be so weird underneath this Obsidian biome when we're done. Also, can I remember please ask Toy Cat in a donation or something what Toy Cat as yes means? You gotta watch the old Let's Play episodes for that, Moogiem. Also, Amarok Starwind, sorry I missed your tip about the foxes. I do like Vulpines, they are cute. What does the fox say, am I right? But, I do want to, yeah, I do think that as soon as we have the ability to make a meat substitute that is either tastier than meat or cheaper than meat, or we realistically have to wait for both. Then we'll look back and we'll be like, oh my god, do we really... We used to just kill animals, like these lives that we thought were cute, because we figured, well, we're hungry, so, you know, how about that? We destroyed the planet to do this as well? What were we thinking? You know, like when you look back at like plague masks today, you're like, is that so smart? Right, like you look back at it and you're like, yeah, something kind of went, something's wrong with society when you look back at...
I just got here. Work made me do work. Also, there is a restaurant in Houston called Mainly Sandwiches that sells lobster rolls. Here is your allowance.
I will have to come to Houston
contribution.
Just for the... I mean, I imagine they can't be too fresh flying all that way out, but you know, the freshness of seafood is such a weird thing to me. No one ever goes like, yeah, we got the freshest cow. It's like, no, your cow died at some point, and then it was packaged up, and now we're eating it. It's fine. But also commence Vulpine Appreciation. Vulpine Appreciation, commence. There we go. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. It's like after 1.17, you should add skulk sensors to the biome. I think it looked cool, and if you want a massive challenge, try to capture the wardens as well. That is a fun idea for a massive challenge. I mean, I won't take it, but I like the idea. Damn it. Anyway, so, also, how long did it take you up the obsidian? Oh, I spent literally all week mining obsidian in my end. But the thing is, I was just mining it with no real end purpose there. End purpose. Ha ha ha. Get it? Because, like, the purpose was in the end. This is genius, okay? You just don't appreciate it. Hi, Togat, can you please make a member goal sandwich with 2 pieces of Minecraft bread from your Seed Sunday inventory? Seed Sunday, sadly, has taken a little bit of a break. There's something more exciting than Seed Sunday coming this week, to me. I haven't seen the video yet, because it hasn't been edited yet. Same with Q&A. You know, there's a lot of things in the pipeline. And by that, I mean there's 2 videos in the pipeline. Excited for them. No real end goals is also stupid. I mean, the end goal is when we've covered the biome, right? But no, sorry, you mean regards to the obsidian in the end? Yeah, I wanted to destroy the pillars, but only the weird ones. And then I started destroying a real one, I think. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I think putting some skulk sensors in this biome would look pretty cool. We're gonna vibe for the biome once we've actually like finished all the corners, right? That'll be useful information. You ever feel stupid? Think of Toy Cat haters. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we're gonna have this slowly creep up to match this, and then deal with the rest later. Okay, so then it like kind of goes up here and then there, and oh god, the whole thing is a mess. But we are slowly getting the edges done, and from the edges the rest is so much easier in my head. We ever go to Western New York? Some point in my life, yeah. Well, like my whole plan, I had 6 months in the UK. I was gonna use them to learn to drive. I had my theory. I spent so many hours cramming for a theory test. Like, okay, I'm gonna learn everything about this. Then the government was like, we've actually worked out the reason all these people are dying is because of driving tests. We've got the stats here, and it turns out every COVID patient, oh god, has interacted with someone doing a driving test. And so they figured, you know what? Do people need to learn to drive? Driving seems pretty non-essential, am I right? I mean, who's ever needed to drive in that? Anyway, yeah, I'm just being sarcastic. Always sarcastic. Yeah, also the Toycat just means made me discover how lazy I am. I tried to ask someone else doing it, said searching it. When Toycat responded, I discovered I was too lazy and had to go watch 488 Let's Plays. Exactly. Just go watch all of the Let's Plays, and then eventually you'll understand. It's actually from an older Let's Play series, so even if you watched all 491 episodes, you wouldn't get it, but still. If you ever feel... by the way, here's my random Toycat text again from DeRandomJ. I feel like you're trying to enforce your name in my head. Like, I am DeRandomJ. You hear that? Toycat text from DeRandomJ. Not from anyone. It's from DeRandomJ. I am very random, and my name has a J in it somewhere. Don't you forget. Okay, let's get back to this now. I don't know why I keep going back and forth between various parts of this. It seems very schizophrenic, I feel like, but that's fine. Never take a CD from anyone in New York. Oh yeah, oh god, that happened to me once in again my tiny little my little village that I visit sometimes, and it's like it had a population of like 10,000. It's like really like a place you wouldn't expect much. And yet there was someone being like, oh yeah, what's your favorite, like here's a thing, man. And he just gives me a disc. He's like, what's your favorite music? And I say something like, it's clearly some sort of rap, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like, you know, I don't know, I like Rise Against, or so, you know, like some like punky like very different to rap, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He's like, yeah, there's some of my inspirations on this disc. I'm like, cool then. And I walk away and he's like, so that'll be £3. And I'm like, sorry, I don't know. And he's like, nah, you really want it. And I'm like, I'm not paying for it, so, and it's like, the idea of trying to make it awkward for someone to, like, because there's a psychological benefit, there's a psychological effect for this, like, someone feels obliged to repay a favor. You gave them something for free, now they have to repay you. Even though you actually gave them, you know, like, and that's why, I don't know, in Hawaii or something, they'll give you free, they'll throw the things on you and be like, money please now. There's so many various examples of this, like scams even that involve this, like spraying perfume on you and being like, please pay for that now. It's terrible, like, because it works on enough people, clearly. But also, it's the worst thing about the universe. CD is a mistake for sure. Yeah, and now you know, like, oh yeah, if someone hands you something for free, you insist you're not taking it. Like, no. Not okay. Honestly, I think anything that relies on, like, abusing some social nicety, like, you're making the world worse to try and sell something, and that's terrible. That's no good. That's something I disagree with personally. Like again, it's in economics. It's like it's the externality that you're missing. I listen exclusively to Engelbert Humperdinck. They do that in Los Angeles like crazy. Oh yeah, I've been down. What's it called? That beach boardwalk thing. It's pretty famous. The pier, Santa Monica Pier. I don't know what it's called, but it's this stretch of beach where they record like all YouTube videos, it seems. And yeah, there's just so many people trying to, and like I guess they make money and they hope they can get a following doing it. But I can't imagine anyone's ever been like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy. One day I'm gonna go to a concert to see him. It's like, nah, this is the graveyard of careers. Your music wasn't good enough to stand on its own, and now you have to try and trick people into buying it. So, you know, as a result, making these people less trustworthy for everyone around them. And it's like, that sucks, doesn't it? That's not good. Hope you feel good about that, Mr. Venice Beach. Venice Beach, I'm really dumb, yeah. Someone once handed me a pamphlet and then asked me to pay for it. Yeah, I think my least favorite one is, again, another story I can't tell on the open internet. But I have a story, and one day I shall tell it, about the time it's going to sound like I'm saying something dodgy, but an actual masseuse got very, very, very dodgy, and very, you know, you can imagine the hijinks that ensued. And that's when I learned, you know what? Yeah, there's a reason that they're called dodgy masseuses, I guess. Also, Toycat, what is life? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Glad to answer your question. How has your need for destruction led you to another desert? I really need the sand. It's just desperate. Also, yeah, the Venice Beach in LA. It just like it's the most famous like stretch of like boardwalk. I feel like I live like a block away from it. It's crazy. Like it's interesting that anyone lives a block away from that. You know, it's interesting to me like all these famous tourist destinations like the Eiffel Tower, the Times Square, like I don't know, the London Eye, Houses of Parliament. People live there, and like I'm realizing this because obviously I'm moving to the center of London, like close enough to these things that I could walk to all of the London versions of those. And even to me, even living in London, it's like effort to go and see them. So like that's like tourist land over there, and then like here's me living out in not tourist land. And it's weird that like yeah, you can tourists go to see it, but also people do just live there. It's YouTube 10 years ago made me dream of going to Venice Beach. So that's like I don't know why it even is true that every YouTube video is recorded there, but it just seems to be true. Where's the boardwalk from Tenacious D? I bet it's the same boardwalk. If there's a boardwalk, it's probably that one. That's my uninformed guess. I suggest some crying obsidian. Why do you want the obsidian to cry? What sort of monster are you? Obsidian shouldn't cry. Man, you ever think about how many variants of baby zombies exist in Minecraft? It's a nutty number. Toycat moving into Buckingham Palace. King Toycat. There are some, like... There's some houses that are worth, like... I don't know, 30, 40 million a piece. Really near Buckingham Palace. But I sometimes think, like, that'd be nice. Like, their house is genuinely big. Not, like, British big, like, you know, objectively big. And they're right in the center of the city. And that's why they're worth 30 or 40 million, obviously. Like, I think, like, that'd be nice to live there. You could go and get Starbucks from a very touristy Starbucks in the morning. And then you could go see a bunch of ads at Piccadilly Circus at night. It'd be great. Close enough to walk to all of London, yes. Honestly, it's kind of shocking. I realize it whenever I make one of my videos, but like, it takes like hours to walk across London. And it's like a big city, so it makes sense. By the way, I bought this today. Oh, it's invisible. It's a, there's an ice cream place near me sells mocktails. And they do a fake mojito that just tastes very strongly of mint. It's not very tasty. But I've got like a sunk cost of like, I paid £4 for this. And it's not bad enough that I shouldn't drink it. And so I'm slowly just doing this. Local experience, says Max Damsky. Local experience indeed. If you don't have a bunch of tourists in your face at Starbucks, it's not a real Starbucks. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, also, I think a creeper went off there, based on the shape of that explosion. Also, I'm surprised at how many gaps I have in this obsidian. Like, I wonder why they exist. Like, I'm going to keep them there for the... Oh, it's just stuff like this, right? That actually makes sense. This whole time I thought we were saying Taurus, and was wondering what he had about Taurus Londoners. You know, I dislike people that were born in certain times of the year. Were you born in... Taurus... dates? Were you born between April 20th and May 20th? Were you born on 420? That's the devil's number, son. I hate you. Who is Taurus compatible with? Wait, let me find out who I would be compatible with based on... Okay, Cancer dates. So I'm Cancer, not only because of my YouTube videos, but also because of this. Waterloo to Bank is so short compared to the whole of London, yet it feels like forever. Fun walk, though. Oh, you know what? I might do that in a future video, Dodgem, because there's a specific short underground line that goes just from Waterloo to Bank. You know, the Waterlands. There's a whole underground... There's a whole train service that just has 2 stops, and it's those 2. I think that'd be such an interesting walk for that reason. Walk the entire line. I pay $12,000 a year to live next to various tourist Starbucks. Isn't it so nice when you got like, I'm American and I'm going to Starbucks, and for some reason, Americans who go overseas are incredibly loud. I don't know why it is, but you can spot when there's Americans nearby because they say really basic sentences that you'd think would be friendly in loud ways. I'm doing my American in London impression. I can't believe that just last week I was in Dallas, Texas, but today I'm in London. You know, there we go. Astrology is just racism for girls. You know, Lumbago Uncle, that got blocked by the filter, but that's clap worthy. Toy Cat is yes and Cancer, says Pookie Helms. You know, I've got a tragedy to announce that, you know, your favorite YouTuber is in fact Cancer. We could try and get into remission, but I just don't see it happening, I'm afraid. I'd pay $500 to eat all of the McDonald's menu. You know, if you paid me $500, I would eat all of the McDonald's menu. Actually, wait, the McDonald's menu doesn't even cost $500. I think you're just overpaying there. It's the same man. Love your hairstyle, says IBX Clipcat. I got a bunch of comments on a recent video, I think it was a second channel one, saying, oh, you finally fixed your hair, Toy Cat. And I'd done absolutely nothing different that day. And that's the thing that, like, hurts about the internet. Like, people complimenting me for no reason almost hurts more than people insulting me for a reason they see. Because, like, at least I didn't understand, you know, like, I didn't understand why they didn't like it. But now I know there is a solution. I just have no idea what it is. And, you know, I think that's crazy. American Toy Cat is yes. Thank you, chat. I'm glad you think of me as yes. I really am glad that. During the stream and heard American Toy Cat help. Worst type of Toy Cat, am I right? I wish that American Toy Cat would go the way of the dodo. Am I the... By the way, okay, I learned just recently. Chat, where do you think the dodo's from? Because I was looking into something. I think it was like an extinct New Zealander bird. Don't ask me what rabbit holes I go down. I was looking up the dodo as a result of it being related to this New Zealand bird. And I found out that the dodo... Okay, actually, people actually know. Like, I thought it was from America. I thought it was a Canadian bird because I saw it in TV shows being, like, in Canada. But apparently, the dodo is from, like, you know, the South Atlantic Ocean or something. Like, it's... I want to say Mauritius is the country it's from. Don't quote me on that. Look it up before you assume wrongly like I did. But yeah, I don't know. Cancerous attitude, yeah, he hits the perfect balance, doesn't he? You know what? I try my best. Madagascar. Yeah, right, it's that area of the world. It's like way... I just always assumed, like this bird, like it was in America. Because everyone's always like, it went the way of the dodo. People don't know about things that exist in other countries. That's not how the media is. I also fought Canada for unknown reasons. Right? I am incorrect about my assumptions. Today I learned. And that's when I realized, you know what? What if the real Canada is the friends we make along the way? What if the country doesn't exist? Well, I speak fluent Canadian. Why are you doing this, says James Lewis. You know, it's always nice to see a comment like that on the streams. It's a fun reminder that, you know what, why am I doing this? What if doing this is really not necessary? What if we don't need to be? It's too hard to say. Also, Miss Pat Van Driven. Oh wait, never mind. Missed something. IBX Clipcat. Thank you for the Australian 99 cents. Yeah, give me that. Give me that tip money. You know, something recently is I've been very. Do you wanna know the inner workings of my brain? Chat. I've been particularly money motivated recently, because like as part of buying a house, that costs London prices, I also have to pay taxes like that match the anyway whatever. There's like a lot of like additional costs that are coming into my life, and like most of those like I was aware of, but like when you add it all up together, there's something like, you know, spending $200 on steak is fine once, but imagine spending $200 every day on steak for a month and being like, oh my god, that's how it be. And now imagine that like instead of eating McDonald's every day, you have to. I know that's just, you know, something about adding costs up. Like, you know, rent costing $300 a month seems fine, but knowing that every day you come back to your apartment after work and it costs you $10 just to go to sleep here, and that's if you live in a $300 a month apartment, which you don't, by the way. Your apartment isn't $300 a month. It's probably closer to $3,000 than it is to $300. Probably not $3,000. Probably closer to $8,000 than $300. It's like, oh man, yeah, that adds up, huh? That adds up. And so yeah, basically I have to get like a lump sum of an amount that like blows my mind that it can even be asked for. How many houses have you lived in? Says I'm Peyotes. Oh, here's an interesting one. Also, thank you, IBX Clipcat, for the. I'm glad you love my hairstyle. Also, would you eat every item on the McDonald's menu for a bet of $500? Says Sasha Regini. Oh, that's probably what the response was. Yeah, I think that I would. I think that I would. If so, I think I couldn't though. I would do it if you gave me a long enough period of time. I don't think my stomach is evolved enough. Like, I don't think I can eat half the McDonald's menu if it's all I eat in a day. Like, I'd need to train my stomach. Also, buy a week's worth of steak every Monday, and then you never pay for steak 6 days a week. Exactly. That's how it works. You pay once, and then it's gone forever. You know, funnily enough, that's actually, even though I make fun of that accounting, that's actually how I budget for things I enjoy. Like, when I fly places, I buy flights because I genuinely enjoy flying somewhere. So, I don't, you know, this is weird for me. I don't have any flights planned right now besides to America and then home. Also, Godzilla, thank you for the £5.73. I'm going to be booking flights soon to Budapest. I'm going to go with some friends. It's going to be the first place we all visit after the pandemic's gone, which is clearly going to happen this year. Nothing's going wrong with that. You know, it's like, it's a nice thing to have booked, right? Anyway, so, like, as far as I'm concerned, once I've booked the flights, money's gone. And then, like, I'm getting there for free. And then, like, you know, I think things differently there. And I think it's healthy not to dwell on certain past expenses. Especially if they're, like, infrequent. But if it's the sort, like, I think dwelling on past expenses is a good way to stop yourself from spending. So if you don't want to cut down your spending, pretend that, yeah, I bought steak all on Monday, so it's actually free to eat these steaks that are in my fridge. I actually think that's the one value about it. But otherwise, yeah, it's, you know, in fact, not even otherwise. Even in my example, it's dumb. It's just the way I admit I'm being dumb. Also, while working for the census, I encountered the house of a huge Confederate flag, no American flag, and a sign threatening to shoot me in Pennsylvania. Oh, that's my favorite thing. In South New Jersey, I saw that too. It's like, do you know which side of the Civil War you were on? Because I don't think you do. I find that to be so funny in a way I can't describe. Oh god. Oh, also wait, creepers can't hurt me in the new biome. That's a big benefit, huh? Also, what's your favorite theory relating to black holes? Says Master Pope Yoda. Oh, I think black holes actually are horrifying and just tear apart the universe. They're like the trash can going around deleting. You know, like, when cities get bombed, they allow for space for new things to grow. And sometimes the universe needs to free up some space to build something else. Again, it's the trash can of the universe. Black hole's just going around, destroy it. We'll try that again. But yeah, I think this is vastly contrasting to the start of the stream. You know, we're going a bit too highbrow. Let's go back to this. Okay, chat. If you have to eat a type of vomit, would you rather eat the vomit of someone who's just had the entire McDonald's menu, or would you rather have the vomit of someone who has eaten nothing, so it's just bile, but you have to eat the same quantity of vomit? So absolutely nothing, a dead, empty stomach, but it's all of their bile on the insides, or it's the entire McDonald's menu. Nah, that's too easy. You pick the bile, right? Because bile's gross, but it's not half-eaten food. Actually, wait. Half-eaten food. You know, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. There you go. Okay, we lowered the brow again. Perfect. That's where I want to be. If people aren't concerned, I'm not doing life correctly. Also, this Obsidian biome is like a surprising amount of work to work on. Also, effect time. Oh yeah, let's just go deal with that now. Let's end the stream on a raid. Because that's how I want it to be. Bile is human though, sort of. Yeah, you'd be picking. Actually, yeah, if you eat the food, you're at least eating like partially digested, McDonald's, and like it's gonna taste some amount good. Whereas bile is just eating some other body fluid. Yeah, you know what? That's some good thinking right there. Can someone send up a flare on the conversation server so I can unmute? See, right, some people are genuinely disgusted to the point of like, I can't listen anymore. And I think that's so interesting. And I shouldn't be doing it to people. But yet, here I am, doing it anyway. Because I'm not a very good professional entertainer. I just pretend to be sometimes on the internet. Because that's how I be, yo. Okay, so, a whole nother chest of sand. Or we could take it to the... Yeah, let's take the sand, actually. Let's take as much of the sand as we can. Over to the smelting room. Because we might as well leave it in there if we can. I'm eating some really soupy shepherd's pie that definitely looks like it could have been throw up. You know, if it tasted the same, but you learned it was throw up, would that change things for you, Chantal? Would you be like, well, I guess I better stop? Or do you like the food enough? I'm assuming you like it. That's like, well, I mean, if throw up tastes this good, then, if throwing up is wrong, I don't want to be right, Anyway, so with that said, let's move on from that, shall we? And why did I get you to bring this up, says Dodgem? You did this to yourself, I'm afraid. You did this to yourself. Okay, let's throw all the sand we can into that. Let's throw a bunch into... Okay, that's already filled. What about this one? Okay, that one's... Okay, we'll throw some sand in here, too. Okay, nice. Get those furnaces activating again. Yeah, there's plenty of space in here, too. And then we'll also throw a furnace into one that needs it. Oh, actually, these are both pretty filled up, so we just need one in here. Oh, that's filled, too. Oh, both these furnaces back here are doing great. Huh? Okay, so now we want to go to a village. Oh, wait, this is technically a village, so I don't want to start a raid here. I want to start a raid where I'll get the best prices. I guess that would be my book village. So let's go over there, I guess. Also, thank you, Brent Palmer, for becoming a channel member. Welcome to being the 638th member. Oh, you're the second member of the day. That is an honor. I would like you to know that you have. Okay, let's what do we want to do? We want to grab our whole chest full of leather. We have too much leather, so we take some. It's actually not that much leather. We'll just take it out of the chest manually. And now we go fight. I've never fought a pillager raid in this village over here, actually. This will be my first time. So, also, Chantal said no. I don't know if that's no, you would stop eating it, or no, not. Also, some of us are trying to enjoy dinner. I'm sorry for ruining your days, chat. I'm sorry for ruining your days. I couldn't resist, but I would like to apologize And the way I should apologize is by not apologizing. Really, not if you think about it, if you really think about it, not apologizing is kind of the real apology. Because when you apologize, you're like, you know, you're letting the other person know, yeah, I'm fine now. I made this up to you. Not apologizing is saying, hey, I will live with this forever. So my assistant made a mistake with today's video. And for whatever reason, people are like tearing into me about it. Like, oh, Toycat's so lazy. He makes mistakes like this all the time. And I do make mistakes like this all the time, but this time it wasn't me. Okay. Yeah, so it's not, like, I had some people, like, proper tearing deep into me about it. And, you know, in a way I think is unwarranted, but you might disagree. And, where'd that story? Oh, yeah, and so my assistant texts me and says, like, oh, yeah, don't see the mistake. And I was like, ah, it's here. She's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for being sorry. But also, nah, it's not okay. And she's like, I feel terrible. And I'm like, great, perfect. And that's why I'm boss of the year. I'm just kidding. That story was not a good example of how to do anything. But no, I don't know why, but like people feeling mad with me is like, it's a feeling I can't deal with. No mistakes, only happy accidents. Is that the part where you repeat yourself? It is that part. I fixed it now. It's being fixed now. I don't know how videos work, honestly. Let's fly this way. And let's kill some pillagers. You ready for this? Da 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 da. Let's kill some villagers. Da 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 da. Should have brought some paper with me. Oh, I think I literally don't have any books to sell too. It's the craziest bit. Oh, I have no sugarcane. Oh, none at all. I can do I can't even make some emeralds. Oh god, it's loud. It's so loud. Has it always been that loud? Am I crazy for thinking it shouldn't be that loud? I can make 4 books. Yeah, 4 books. Oh no. Okay, I should have probably seen the adverse effects coming, huh? I totally didn't though. You know, actually, most of the villagers are dispensable anyway, so it's fine. They're just like traders as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that is literally what they are, but you get the point. Pick up those experience points. And let's go. It's always been that bad. Maybe I just never have my headphone in. Oh no, I think he just killed a villager. Ah, that's fine. They'll make more villagers. Famously, that's what villagers do. Do. Yeah, I'm so good at pillager raids. You don't even know how good I am at them. I mean, you might know. And you might have low expectations. But yeah, we did it. Let's reward ourselves, so a quick little... Oh, we have to wait till the end so we get a better deal. Because we can get 1 emerald traded otherwise. Okay, so they're this way. According to that honking siren. Wait, are they this way? Where are you at, pillagers? Are they underground again? Oh no, they're just over there. They just weren't visible. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, let's tear you apart. Don't need to worry about health and safety. Those are lies invented by... Oh, wow, they're actually going to hurt each other. Perfect. Oh, yeah, perfect. Nice. It's so much easier when the mobs hurt each other for you. And we switch out to this as we get all the XP. Look at my pickaxe slowly getting repaired here. Now there's only one more wave because I think we're on easy. I hope we're on easy. And then we're good. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. I hope I didn't ruin your eating experience. Weren't you guys at the giant sugarcane farm? How has it come to this, says Leanne? You know, I failed you all, internet. I had one thing about myself, and I managed to mess that up. I was literally one thing. I was just the sugarcane guy. Okay, so this is the easiest wave. It's literally 3 pillagers and a villager beast or whatever. Surprisingly easy. And we're good. Now we get ourselves a saddle too. Remember when saddles weren't infinite? Those were the days, huh? And there we go. Switch out. Actually, let's eat while we wait for the fire to kill him. You know, this is the second time today fire not killing a monster has made me look silly. Yeah. Look how good I am, chat. I am so good. This is enhanced mating experience. Echolocation, go brr. Yeah, I'm set on easy right now, just because, like, again, there's no, hey, we can trade slightly easier. Oh, isn't that great? Such a good deal here. Getting me 3 books for the price. Wait, 3 books for the price of 2? 1 emerald for the price of whatever. You know, ignore whatever point I'm actually trying to make here. And also, we can buy mending cheap here. I definitely don't need mending again. I have too many mending things, honestly. But still, it's nice that they could. I can buy cheap clocks, cheap name tags, cheap glass. Actually, glass for 1 emerald for 4 might be something worth considering, right? I mean, not now that I have so much sand. But otherwise, like, 16 emerald for a stack of glass. 16 blocks of emeralds for 9 stacks of glass. It's not a terrible offer, is it? Do they all give you glass as one of their trades? You know what, let's not think about it. Anyway, thank you very much for coming along and watching today's live stream. By the way, I had one comment that validated my village on my recent, like, mistakes I made in Minecraft video. So to that one person, thank you so much for saying that my village isn't terrible. I thought it was a cool concept to combine 2 villages together. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. All I know is I disagree with the concept of disagreeing. This is enhanced mating experience. Hey, thank you, Same Man 6. You know what? That's all. Oh wait, we could make more books. Wait, look at this. Look at this. We're gonna have so many books. I'm gonna get such a good deal on them too. Oh, this is crazy. Look at this deal we're about to get. This is art of the deal stuff right here. Oh, 3 books. Oh yeah, look at all that XP for me. Just raking it in. It makes it look like you have so few villages nearby. You know what? That is an interesting thing. Yeah, like the fact that I have to go out to 4,000 blocks just for this. Honestly, I should put all the villagers on boats and move them closer. And hopefully full of delicious panda meat soon. Someday I will be full of delicious panda meat. But today, I am but a lowly toy cat. Thank you for watching. And again, Q&A Saturday will be ready soon. And by that, I mean probably sometime tomorrow. I don't know how time zones work. Thank you for coming along, David Slamano. Thank you, Bry1022, Luke Anderson, Lieutenant Potato Studios, Charles Atkinson, Alex SG, Galaxy Craft, Adric M, Lumbargo Uncle. Also, Lumbargo Uncle, if you want to watch whole videos about stream topics, that's kind of what the 3rd channel is in those walk and talks sometimes. I will see you. Okay, there's lots of names now. Goodbye, Pokemon is the best. Goodbye, Alison Grace. Goodbye, Meme Mistake. Goodbye, Tiffany. Or Tiffane, you could say. Goodbye, Rice Cakes. And Phosphorus, 4, Kaizen, J-Dog Skizzle, Pluto, Rents, Jackie Ann. I saw your profile picture, Jackie Ann, and that's a nice sweater you've got there. You know, that's really creepy if I don't press this. It's the Toy Cat sweater. It's not me just being strange people on the internet. Oh god. Oh god. Life is pain. Life is pain. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next batch of pain. Goodbye. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Glad the stream is over so I can talk to myself. Because that's what I do when the streams are over. I talk about how much I hate the streams. That's definitely what I do all day. And I go, ha 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 ha. I'm here not streaming anymore. Nobody can tell me what to do. I'm talking to myself and definitely no one else. Because it's over right now. Oh no, I found out I was streaming by accident. Haha. That's embarrassing.